But what I want to just share, when planning this event with Vint and Herman, Vint was talking about the Q theory, and that's sort of played on my mind a lot since that conversation last week. Vint, do you want to just share that insight again, because it was just gold?
Oh, yes. This is actually quite interesting. And assuming I'm remembering correctly what it was that we talked about, this was an observation about why people queue up. And in the UK, it's historically the case that people would queue up waiting for something, could be food or getting into the theater or getting onto a plane. And why do they do that? The reason they do that is that all of them have the expectation that there's enough for everyone and they will eventually get theirs. And so they're willing to queue up and wait. That's a kind of politics of plenty. But if you've ever been in a third world country where poverty is the norm, there is never enough for everyone, and you don't ever get queues. What you get is this scrum of people trying to get theirs first. And I watched this happen in Iran. I was in Tehran. I had a ticket to get on the plane, and everybody had a ticket, and it had a seat number on it. And no one seemed to understand that that meant there was a seat for them. And they jammed themselves onto the plane. It was the most amazing experience. So I just hung back and waited till the crowd dispersed. But the politics of plenty is what we want. The politics of poverty is what we often have. And if we're lucky, we'll find a way to reverse that. And I just wanted to point out sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Vince, sorry.
I just wanted to mention something I put in the chat. A good Aussie friend of mine drew my attention to an invention. I think it's called Evercool or something like that. Basically, they have discovered that if you induce the right kind of electromagnetic field periodically, you can keep things from freezing in the sense of cells breaking and things rotting. So as long as there is excitation, the water molecules are prevented from freezing even at temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And so you can keep things fresh without having to freeze them. And that would preserve quite a bit of food if we could do that on a regular basis. So the Australians may have found at least one more contribution to food security by avoiding food waste.
Wow, that's quite amazing. Tony Surtees.
Thank you. Yeah, so go ahead. No, Vint, I didn't want to interrupt your stream of consciousness thought there.
I just wanted to point out that I put my own money into this thing. So I put my money where my mouth is.